Let's get into Sydney Sweeney. We all know that she's been going through it with her fiance, Jonathan Davino. Her ex-fiance. And recently, it looks like they were on a stroll. She wasn't trying to be seen because she was wearing a big blue hoodie and some sunglasses. They had zero body language as they were together, so we didn't see any romantic huggings or any hand holding or kissing. It does seem like at one point Jonathan put his hand on Sydney's back, kind of trying to support. Maybe she's crying because of their breakup. I don't know. Sydney and Jonathan were expected to get married in May, but their wedding is off the table and they've been separated since January. Sydney's been living her fully single girl era since the start of the year, living it up at the Beverly Hills Hotel with her besties and enjoying an African getaway. And let's not forget that there are rumors that Sydney is currently on the prowl for a new guy, and it turns out to be Glen Powell, the guy that she was in that movie with. What is it again? Anyone But You, was something along those lines. Love that movie. But they also seem like a great couple, and it seems like the world is kind of pushing them together, despite whether Sydney wants it or not.
Did anything happen this weekend?
My little sister got married. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I know. He's the best guy, and I gave a speech. I was just probably the lowest liability in the family. I'm like the master of ceremonies, I guess, of the wedding. Yeah.
And the wedding caused a little bit of a stir. Did that surprise you?
I bet your sister timing is everything in this world, isn't it?
Dude, I'm getting married. I'm the bride.
Yeah, no, she and Sid are obviously great friends, and it was a hell of a wedding. The Powells know how to do it right, and so all the people that love her were there.
Let's get into Wendy Williams. You guys know that I am a big fan of Wendy. She inspires a lot of what I do here on YouTube. And her new lawyer, Joe, actually, I was rooting for him because he is a tough guy. But recently, the judge was quoted saying that Wendy Williams' career is over, telling her to accept the fact that she will never be out of the probate system and to give up. And you guys know we don't like that kind of energy over here on this page. So Joe is blasting the judge in Wendy's conservatorship case for telling the TV star her career is over, calling the statements outrageous. What right does the judge have to say whether her career is over or not? Joe is saying these statements by the judge shouldn't have been made in court or in front of Wendy, especially since the judge who said it isn't in the entertainment industry. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Joe doesn't know why the judge would make such statements about Wendy's career in an unrelated court hearing. He adds that from his numerous conversations with Wendy, he knows she's as coherent and lucid as she's ever been. Joe says the statements about her career shows the judge bias, and Joe warns the judge is lucky he wasn't in court yesterday or he would have torn the judge to shreds. And it actually makes me almost want to cry because I'm thank God Wendy has that person out here for her saying oh, hell no, I'm not going to follow the rules when the rules are not right. They are abusing the power they have over her.
At the end of the hearing, this judge first basically said Wendy's family was terrible. And then...
her son... I might agree because he's the one that got her in this situation. But her niece is her biggest advocate. Remember the one who they said kidnapped Wendy when she took her out for dinner?
Looks at Wendy and says, you had a great career. Your career is over. It is never coming back. You're done. Why would a judge say that?
And what is the relevance to what they're actually there for? It just seemed like
it's not relevant at all. There's nothing. And also, there's a lot of people who are waiting for Wendy to come back. If she had a little podcast moment, whatever she had going on, I would tune in because she's funny.
This judge won. She's not in the entertainment industry, so I don't know where she would get off opining about that and why that's even relevant to her role as a judge, who's basically the judge of the law, and in this case, judge of the fact.
I love the new attorney, but I wonder what work he's had done. He's definitely been touched, right?
And why she's not a neurologist either. Clearly, and someone who should be opining on whether Wendy Williams has the capability to get better and become but I will tell you, I've spent time with Wendy this week, and I've spoken to Wendy, Harvey, as you have,
and also the judge, typically as a judge, you're not heavily involved in cases. You are the ruling factor, but you're not there assessing day-to-day things. So I don't know how the judge can see Wendy out here doing press and phone calls and then say that she's not going to have a career because people are lining up to interview her.
Say hundreds of hours over the last several months. And I will tell you, she's as Wendy Williams as she was 10 years ago. She's as Wendy Williams as she was when she had one of the best shows in television. She's absolutely capable of hosting a talk show or doing whatever she wants to do. I mean, she is there. She's got her wherewithal.
And I actually don't doubt that that is true. I think what happened was that she went into like an alcoholic psychosis when she was heavily in her addiction. And now I believe that she's clean, and that's, you know, then the side effects, they end up going away. Now, the judge's name is Lisa, and she told Wendy she had no chance of restarting her career, so just shut up, pretty much. This comment reads, "The judge and the guardianship are working together. I've been saying this." Another person asks, "Who is this judge?" And someone needs to check her background and patterns on how she treats people. Now, we're told that Judge Lisa's comments really hurt Wendy because she heard her say this in front of everyone. Pretty embarrassing. Joe said there's also a gag order on this case, saying he's never heard of one being issued on a guardianship case, pointing out they're usually reserved for situations where comments could influence a jury, which can't happen here since the judge alone will make the decision. So the gag order is almost unconstitutional because there's no reason for it but to shut her up and hold her into the system. Let's get into Bhad Bhabie. Oh, Bhad Bhabie, Danielle Bergoli, the Dr. Phil celebrity. Poor kid, she has gone through hell, and this headline is disturbing. We're gonna have to censor this. Bhad Bhabie is serving up an alarming admission on a podcast, revealing her mother's ex-boyfriend touched her from the ages of 3 to 6. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bhad Bhabie, you gotta go through that. According to Bhad Bhabie, the harm that she had gone through sparked a pattern of that followed by her as she grew into a famous rapper. She also described another man that allegedly did things to her when she was a minor. Ari, someone there, described him as the big guy that used to be with you, in between voice bleeps. Bhad Bhabie also said when she was a minor, she had older men who were boyfriends but never found the justice she was looking for. She tells her friend Ari that she reported the harm to her mother and the police, but there wasn't any punishment. Bhad Bhabie says, quote, "Nobody ever goes to jail when it comes to me," which sounds so sad that like she's given up on any sense of justice or help. Like she's just going to take whatever harm comes her way.
Yeah, that's you got not there, but in life twice. Well, I don't know how many times you want to count it, but I mean, who's my here? Well, I was by my mom's ex-boyfriend from 3 to 6, and then I was by my from 13 to 16. Hello. And then I had 30-year-old boyfriends when I was 16. 17, 18. Where's he's still out living his life? He's living his life. Too. Is that nice to be with you? Mm-hmm. He was yeah.
So I know there's a lot of censorship in that clip, and that's actually because of their doing. They removed the names, but there was enough information there for people online to put things together to figure out who was one of these men. And it turns out that one of her bodyguards, Frank, when she was a young teen, is one of these men who were harming her back in the day. And it's really disturbing to think that like the man who's supposed to be protecting her is the one who's actually hurting her.
This is how you ask. You're Danny's security. That's my title. I'm her living. Oh, you got me a real gift. This is the only gift I got for her birthday. You know that? Daddies are perfect. The truth is, she's kind of become one of my kids.
So every day I get your ass nothing. His last birthday, I told him, you ought to give up the dish birthday. Because we were fighting.
The fact that he said like she's like one of my kids, so creepy. It reminds me of like a typical like grooming case.
Did you tell somebody? Yeah, I did. They believe you? They believe me. The feds did. The who? The feds? Mm-hmm. So did he go to jail? No. Why not? I don't know. You didn't press the issue? Nobody ever goes to jail when it comes to me.
This comment reads, that explains her behavior towards her mom when she was on Dr. Phil. She was not protected. Quote, nobody ever goes to jail when it comes to me is beyond heartbreaking. Like, damn. Another person adds, this is so sad. She's laughing to hide her pain. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.